By using civilian technology in unexpected ways, we're essentially exploiting a blind spot in conventional military thinking. The tour continued through the ship's impromptu manufacturing center, where 3D printers originally designed for replacement mining parts now produced custom ammunition and repair components. The engineering team was particularly fascinated by the ship's central computer system, which appeared to be a networked cluster of modified entertainment systems and industrial control units. "You have to understand," Chen explained as they watched a printer create what appeared to be a combination of spare part and impromptu weapon. "Humans have always been tinkerers. Give us a problem, and we'll solve it with whatever we have on hand. The galaxy gave us access to advanced technology, but we never lost that fundamental approach to problem solving." The new coalition. 6 months after the incident with the pirate fleet, High Admiral Zextal stood before the Galactic Federation's Military Council, his crystalline appendages gleaming under the chamber's lights. The massive chamber was filled with representatives from hundreds of species, all gathered to hear his report on the integration of human military doctrine into Federation forces. "The results are undeniable," Zextal announced, projecting images of the new hybrid vessels that had begun appearing in Federation fleets. "By incorporating human approaches to technology and warfare, we increased our operational effectiveness by 300%, while reducing our military expenditure by nearly 40%. The chamber erupted in excited chittering and bioluminescent displays. A hive mind representative pulsed with skepticism. "But surely such improvised solutions cannot be as reliable as proper military equipment." Captain Chen stepped forward from her position beside Zextal. In the months since the pirate incident, she had been appointed as the human liaison to the Federation's Military Innovation Division. She still wore her modified environment suit, though it now bore both human and Federation insignia. "Actually," she grinned, triggering a holographic display, "our solutions have proven more reliable in many cases. Traditional military equipment is designed to be perfect at specific tasks. Our approach creates systems that can adapt and be repaired with whatever's available. In real combat situations, that flexibility is often more valuable than theoretical perfection." The display showed footage from recent engagements. Federation ships now carried modified mining equipment alongside their traditional weapons. Construction nanites have become standard issue for repair and combat operations. Even the Federation's proudest battleships had begun incorporating what they now called human pattern redundancy, backup systems cobbled together from civilian technology. "But perhaps most importantly," Chen continued, "we've begun sharing these approaches with civilian vessels. Every merchant ship can now defend itself using modified industrial equipment. Pirates are finding it increasingly difficult to operate when every target might have a few mining lasers and construction nanites ready to ruin their day." Zextal stepped forward again. "The humans have taught us something vital. True military strength isn't about having the most advanced weapons. It's about being able to turn anything into a weapon when necessary. Their approach to technology mirrors their species' greatest strength, the ability to adapt and overcome with whatever tools are available." The council chamber's atmosphere had shifted from skepticism to intense interest. Representatives were already sending requests for human technical advisors to their fleets. A few were surreptitiously examining common objects around them, perhaps wondering what unexpected uses they might have. Furthermore, Chen added with a mischievous glint in her eye, "We've begun exploring combinations of our technologies. It turns out Federation quantum computers make excellent gaming systems, and some of their entertainment software has fascinating military applications." As the council meeting continued, a message flashed across the Federation's priority channels. Another pirate fleet had been detected near the Carina Nebula. But this time, instead of panic, the news was met with anticipation. The response force would include both Federation warships and human vessels, each ready to demonstrate their own unique approach to problem solving. In orbit above the Council world, the HSS Unconventional Solution floated alongside sleek Federation battlecruisers. From a distance, it still looked like a collection of mining equipment and cargo containers somehow convinced to fly in formation. But now, similar modifications could be seen on the Federation vessels, practical, unexpected, and thoroughly human additions to their elegant designs. Complex interference pattern in the debris cloud. The result was a dazzling display of refracted energy that played havoc with the pirates' targeting systems. But it was what happened next that truly demonstrated why humans had earned their reputation for terrifying ingenuity. The construction nanites, having survived their journey through space, began attaching themselves to the pirates' hulls. Within moments, the automated workers started doing what they were programmed to do: improve and modify whatever structures they encountered. "Are your robots remodeling their ships?" Peltac asked, mandibles clicking in disbelief. "Yep," Chen confirmed. "Standard construction protocols. They're identifying structural weaknesses and attempting to correct them. Which, incidentally, means they're tearing open hull plates to access the internal framework." Oops. The pirate fleet descended into chaos. Ships began reporting system failures as nanites breached their hulls and started improving their internal systems. Weapons platforms were dismantled for safety reasons. Engine cowlings were removed for routine maintenance. And through it all, the cloud of glitter made it nearly impossible for them to target the source of their troubles. This isn't warfare, Zextal realized. This is weaponized inconvenience. Exactly. Chen's enthusiasm was infectious. Why destroy when you can disrupt? Now, watch this. We're about to demonstrate our gravity manipulation system. Turns out mining tractor beams can be pretty interesting when you modify them just right. Battle of the Nebula. The remaining pirate vessels attempted to retreat, their captains finally realizing they were dealing with something far more dangerous than a repurposed mining ship. But the unconventional solution wasn't finished with its demonstration of human ingenuity. The unconventional solution's modified tractor beams sprang to life, but instead of simply grabbing the retreating ships, they created a complex web of overlapping gravitational fields. The pirate vessels found themselves caught in what amounted to a gravitational maze, their escape routes blocked by invisible walls of warped space. "A little trick we learned from asteroid herding," Chen explained, as if she were discussing the weather. "You'd be amazed how useful mining techniques can be when you think outside the box." Zextal watched in fascination as the human vessel began systematically corralling the pirates, using precisely calculated gravitational pulses to herd them into a tight cluster. The few ships that tried to resist found their engines fighting against localized gravity wells that seemed to have minds of their own. But the energy requirements. Vrelix protested weakly. The computational power needed to maintain such precise gravitational control. "Oh, that." Chen gestured to a corner of her chaotic bridge where a familiar device sat. "We're using a modified gaming console. Turns out the processors designed for real-time physics calculations in entertainment systems work pretty well for this kind of thing." Who knew? The Federation crew watched in stunned silence as the unconventional solution completed its work. The pirate fleet hung helpless in space, their ships trapped in a gravitational net, while construction nanites cheerfully dismantled their weapon systems. Several vessels were broadcasting surrender signals, while others appeared to be experiencing unexpected renovations to their bridge layouts. Lessons in human engineering. In the aftermath of the battle, the Federation's engineering team swarmed over the unconventional solution, trying to understand how such seemingly primitive technology had achieved such devastating results. Captain Chen welcomed them aboard with characteristic human hospitality, offering coffee and what she called emergency ration brownies while giving them a tour. "The trick," she explained to a group of bewildered alien engineers, "isn't to build the perfect weapon. It's to understand that everything can be a weapon if you're creative enough. Take our hull, for example." She rapped her knuckles against a nearby wall, which seemed to be made of an unremarkable industrial composite. The Federation engineer scanners, however, showed something far more complex. "Layered mining shield technology," Chen continued. designed to withstand micrometeorite impacts and radiation. We just added some shock-absorbing gel between the layers, same stuff they use in sports equipment back on Earth. Works better than traditional military armor in some ways, costs a fraction as much. One of the Federation engineers, a multi-limbed being named Techroll, raised an appendage. But why? Why not use proper military-grade materials? Chen's smile took on a predatory edge. Because pirates, and pretty much everyone else, build their weapons to overcome military defenses. Nobody optimizes their guns to penetrate mining shields and sports gear. First contact surprise. High Admiral Zextal of the Galactic Federation's 7th Fleet prided himself on maintaining composure in all situations. But as he stared at the sensor readings of the approaching human vessel, his crystalline appendages trembled with disbelief. The ship, if it could even be called that, appeared to be constructed primarily from modified mining equipment and repurposed cargo containers. Confirm these readings, he ordered his sensor officer, 3rd Ivrelix. There must be some mistake. Readings confirmed, High Admiral, Vrelix responded, her bioluminescent patches pulsing with confusion. The vessel matches the registry of the Human Self-Defense Force's HSS unconventional solution. It appears to be constructed around a modified asteroid mining core. The bridge crew of the Federation flagship Eternal Vigilance watched as the human vessel approached their position near the Carina Nebula. The Federation had requested human assistance with a pirate problem that had been plaguing their shipping lanes, but Zextal was beginning to question the wisdom of that decision. The HSS unconventional solution looked like it had been assembled by someone who had only heard descriptions of warships from particularly unreliable sources. Its hull was an asymmetrical collection of reinforced mining equipment, cargo containers converted into crew quarters, and what appeared to be civilian-grade shield generators daisy-chained together in ways that made Federation engineers wake up screaming. "They're hailing us," announced Communications Officer Peltak. On screen, Zextal ordered, straightening his ceremonial carapace. The image that appeared showed a bridge that looked more like a workshop than a command center. Tools floated in zero, secured by magnetic tethers. The walls were covered in handwritten notes and technical diagrams. And in the center of it all stood Captain Sarah Chen, wearing what appeared to be a modified environmental suit with dozens of pockets added seemingly at random. "Greetings, High Admiral." Chen smiled warmly. "Sorry about our appearance. We're still working out some kinks in the new modular defense system. But I promise she's more capable than she looks." Zextal's translator struggled with the informal tone. "Captain Chen, while we appreciate your assistance, I must express concern about your vessel's combat readiness. Our sensors indicate you lack standard military-grade weapon systems." Chen's smile widened. "Oh, we've got weapons all right, just not the kind you're used to. Remember how humans turned mining equipment into our first spacecraft? Well, we've gotten pretty creative since then." Before Zextal could respond, alarms blared across both ships. A pirate fleet had just dropped out of FTL, 15 heavily armed vessels of various designs, all bristling with weapons. Perfect timing. Chen's eyes lit up with what Zextal would later learn was the particularly human expression of someone about to do something either brilliant or insane. "Watch this." The unconventional solution's outer hull began to shift, panels sliding apart to reveal what appeared to be modified mining lasers, cargo launchers, and, most puzzlingly, what looked like construction equipment. "Captain," Zextal started, "I must insist." "Trust me," Chen interrupted. "We've got this. You might want to adjust your sensors to filter out electromagnetic interference, though. Things are about to get a bit chaotic." The MacGyver Protocol. The pirate fleet formed up into an attack pattern, clearly expecting an easy victory against what appeared to be a cobbled-together mining vessel and a single Federation warship. Their first volley of plasma torpedoes streaked across space toward the unconventional solution. Chen's voice came across the comm, cool and collected. "Initiating MacGyver Protocol. You might want to watch this, Admiral." The human ship's response defied every principle of space combat that Zextal had learned in his 3 centuries of service. Instead of raising shields, it launched what appeared to be hundreds of small objects from its cargo base. The objects spread out in a cloud, each trailing something behind it. "Are those construction nanites?" Vrelix asked incredulously. "Mixed with industrial lubricant," Chen confirmed cheerfully. "And some glitter." The engineering team got creative with the dispersal pattern. The pirates' plasma torpedoes hit the cloud. Instead of destroying the small objects, the energy weapons heat caused the lubricant to flash vaporize, creating a rapidly expanding cloud of reflective particles. The remaining torpedoes disappeared into the glittering haze, their targeting systems thoroughly confused. "That's impossible," Zextal whispered. "You turned industrial supplies into a defense screen." "Just wait," Chen grinned. "Phase 2 is even better." The unconventional solutions modified mining lasers powered up, not to fire, but to create a galaxy was learning what humans had known all along. The most powerful weapon isn't the biggest gun or the strongest shield. It's the ability to look at what you have and see what it could become. As Chen had told Zextal during their first meeting, anything can be a weapon if you're creative enough. The trick is being more creative than your opponent. And in the vast darkness of space, potential enemies were learning a new truth. The most terrifying human weapon isn't their technology, it's their imagination.